Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and we've made it. We're at the final flip through. Okay, if you're seeing this video and going, what the heck is Ceri talking about this journal? Now, each of the videos I've made, I've tried to keep as a complete video, but it is stages. So there are previous videos and they'll be in the description box, so links will be in there. One is called the Colour Combo, which was a combination that we put out every month, and I made signature pages. I made 15 signature pages, and my friend in the Netherlands, Paulla Keen, also made 15 signature pages. We then mailed those signature pages to each other and have to make a journal from them, and we get to keep the journal. So in the first video Colour Combo, I make the 15 pages. Then there's a next video which is how I make the cover. I then open the mail from Paulla so I can actually see what the signature looks like, and I actually create the journal as a naked journal. In the next video, I just grab bits of ephemera that I've got and I decorate it as much as I can within the period of time that I've got. I didn't spend more than about an hour on the journal, and then I shut the camera down and I went away and spent a bit of time and consideration and a little bit of respect for both my work and Paulla's work, and I made the final journal and finished it all. Which results in this, which is the flip through video. So that'll give you an idea of what's come before. We're both members of a Facebook group called the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists group. I'll put that in the description box as well, the link to that. But Paulla and I are both designers for PM Artist Studio in Texas, and we both run the Colour Combo. And this was Paulla's idea, and I'm very happy she suggested it. It was a great one. Thank you, Paulla. So let's talk through what I've done. You've seen a lot of this. You've seen it all the way up until I fine-tuned the ephemera that's in here. You saw me put the ephemera in. What you didn't see was little tweaks I've done to it. But to start things off, I used some sari silk as the tie for this. I threaded it through the stitching that was holding the spine in, and then I found this piece of lace that was nice and delicate. I didn't want anything heavy and clunky, and I stuck that on the spine, threaded the sari silk through the ribbon, and then stuck the lace down underneath as well. So let's open this puppy up, shall we? So for those who haven't seen the previous 2 videos or 3 videos, the colour combination for August 2023 was neutrals, as in creams and ivories. You were allowed to use white, black and a metallic. So as you can see, I did the cover front and back. You'll see that as we go along. And here we go. So inside, this was actually a clean-up sheet that I was making as I made the cover, and it ended up as the inside of the cover, so I could use the outside, the other 12 by 12 to make the ephemera for this. So I didn't know what theme Paulla was going with, so I went with butterflies, but ironically Paulla put in birds. So this is a combination of birds and butterflies. So to start this off, I've got this little index card holder here made out of a time card, and I put a little owl, and I quite like the fact that he's peeking over the top and watching you. Just a little tag. This was already made in my stash. I didn't do anything more than this. Then I think putting a little bit of ribbon on top or sari silk, and I did that to tie it in with that colour there. Plenty of space for writing in this journal. I like journals naked or just for writing, and then I add ephemera as and when I need it. Okay, this was an established journal card that I turned into a pocket. I did put little pieces on there to tie the theme in. I put this little envelope in there as well, just someone could put some tickets or something if they chose. And then this was the other 12 by 12 from the cover. I cut it up to make ephemera so I could bring the theme of the cover throughout the journal. So as you can see, I left it quite bare, just a little book page, just a ticket, and just a little saying about butterflies. I coated the back, covered the back as well, so that just slips there. I chose not to put ribbon or sari silk on the top of every tag because I thought that might just be a little bit overkill, to be honest. So the next 2 pages, hopefully you can see well enough. I've got the camera quite close in for me. This was a sack and tag, so it's a brown lunch bag, some people call it. I have a tag in there made from a time card. I like using time cards. Slip that in the back of there again. And then the front is just a smaller tag, and this was an offcut of a journal card. You'll see that happen in the other video. And then this again was made from the spare 12 by 12. I just made a simple journal card that slips in there beautifully, and I like the way that this little bit here just shows, and that was just a pre-cut piece of washi. Again, now so you can see the birds are coming through here. I love these papers, really nice and crinkly, and they're quite robust as well. So this was a pocket made out of the spare 12 by 12. I had this piece of ephemera that was already backed. I think it's a Tim Holtz piece, to be honest. I thought it fitted in there nicely. I made this little journal card. This was a piece that Paulla sent me, and I put the flower on and put the sticker on because I really liked that. Wanted to include something from Paulla in the ephemera. This was just an offcut of a piece of a brayer off that happened to be the right colour. Put a bird on because I wanted to try and introduce birds where I could. Slip that in there, and that made that pocket really nice and complete. Again, a little bit of a gap. Now, this was a tuck spot that was actually just made out of 2 book pages stuck together, and I've just put ephemera pieces on the front just to thicken it up. This was already made. This is, I believe this is just washi stuck to a bit of file folder and then backed, and I made a master board out of the washi and cut it into pieces. This is what I made that previous pocket from. This pocket was made from that 12 by 12 masterboard. So I thought this doesn't need anything else. It's got really nice interest to it. I had this already in my stash, and I think this was actually a tag, and I cut it down to a journal card. The only thing I did was added that orange butterfly because I wanted something just to peep out there while this was open. This was an existing tag of mine, and this was an existing journaling card that I really liked, and I thought it fitted perfectly in with the colour scheme of this. It was a no-brainer for me that I just put it in there. Moving on, we come to this page, right. This here is another offcut from that 12 by 12. Turned it into a pocket. My aim was, as you can see, bring the cover into the rest of the journal. This was just a little pre-made envelope. I put some lined brown paper in it. This was from a kit by Rachel Bella Craft, I think, one of an ephemera thing. I put a stamp on that had a bird on, and I can't remember where this came from. I didn't make this. I think somebody else did, and I can't remember. That might have come from Paulla. It might have come from Yanka. Or it might have come from someone else. I don't know. I lose track of where things come from, and I apologise. That's because I just don't keep track of stuff. Another journal card that I already had made. This one I did nothing to it whatsoever, except I rubbed it over with a little bit of vintage photo ink just to knock back the whiteness because it was very, very white. So let's tuck that back in there. I thought that was a nice little completed page. I did put the charms on. I think I did that in one of the videos, to be honest. I couldn't find a bird charm, but I found a feather and I found a butterfly, and I thought that ties into both of what we were putting into the journal. More pages. Okay, this was an existing pocket, and what I did is I just put a bit of booked page down there with a bit of birds on there. It's a fussy cut, and I thought that worked perfectly. This was an existing journal card of mine. I made this into a pocket, and I did have an envelope in here, but I decided in the end just to put some coffee dyed paper in there, just so it's extra journaling space, because who doesn't like extra journaling space? And I also like the birds opposite the birds. What was this? Oh, this was a larger journal card, and this is the one that I cut the little piece off. If I can find it again. This piece here originally was on there, as you can see by the cut mark. So I cut that down. You'll see that done in a previous video because I wanted a pocket to put a tag in, and this was a bit of an offcut again of that spare 12 by 12. I put a washi sticker down there, put a sticker on there, backed it, put a bit of sari silk through the top, made a beautiful little tag, especially for more writing. Again, moving through the journal. So let's see. This was one of those washi masterboards that I cut up. I put 2 labels on. I like to stack labels, and I believe I think that's a Tim Holtz stamp, and I did it on some book page and put that in. This was an existing, I was a bit stuck to that. This was an existing tag. All I did was I put this label across the top and just used a small stapler just to put a bit of linen at the top. I just thought that finished it off. When I didn't have that there, it looked blank, but that's lovely there. And then the birds, of course, come out to play when you see them. This, again, was a bit of journaling. I think this was a brayer off, maybe from when I was actually making the cover, and I cut it into a journal card, just put elements on here, just so that it was something pretty in there, and I really like that. And the thing is, everything in the pocket is a surprise. You don't know there's a butterfly till it comes out. You don't know the birds are there until it comes out. I liked this because it pulled the green into it, and I did try to stay with like browns and yellows and oranges within this, but there are little pops where you need a little bit of drama now and then. I'm sure you all understand that. Okay, belly band. This was just a strip of a brayer off I stuck down in the previous video, and then I put a bit of washi tape on there. I believe that's a piece of washi tape I stuck to book page, a little bit of a stamped background, and something just with a number on, just to fortify this a little bit and give it something to look at. This was an existing envelope. Again, I put some coffee dye paper into it. I did put a stamp on there. I know it's not the same period, but nothing in this journal is the same period. And I was just attracted to it because it was orange. And in fact, looking at it, if I just rub it over with a bit of vintage photo, it takes the newness off it. And that slid in there. This again was one of those pieces I cut up from the 12 by 12, made it into a nice journal card. I had the opportunity to put more birds in, so I did, and I love that. And I thought, you know what, I tried to do pairs of things where I could, because to be honest, it was like Paulla and I are a bit of a two-man, two-woman, whatever you want to call it, one-man, one-woman team. And we do things like we do the challenge, not the challenge, the colour combo. We do other stuff. We have swapped stuff in the past. And this was all about us working together on these journals as well. So there you go. That was the journal card for that. Okay, this was an existing sack that I did. There was a journal card already in it, and I love making these sacks. I need to make more of these, actually. I'm running a little low. Well, actually, the truth is there's about 6 of them sat in my to-do box, partly finished. I need to pull my finger out and get them done. So a little bit of a tag that was already in there, and I had this. It was like I made almost like a specimen slide, and I decided to put a guy in it instead of a specimen. But then some people would say that mankind is a specimen anyway. So we're a specimen of a species, let's put it that way. An extra piece of the 12 by 12 I cut into a journal card. I did back it, and then as you can see, I used a sticker on here, a bit of numbers and wording. It was just enough. It didn't need to be hugely ornate, because this is already quite ornate. I think we're coming to the end, really. No, one more after this. So this is another one of those time cards that I folded up, turned into a pocket. This one had a guy in it, so I thought, you know, maybe he was the scientist who was researching stuff. You know me, I like a story or a reason why things are in there. And then again, this was the last bit of the 12 by 12 I cut up, just made it into a simple tag, bit of sari silk on the top, and I thought, you know, that just completes the page. Now, when this journal gets used, there's plenty of room to add other ephemera to it. And that's, I mean, this is probably about as decorated as I would ever make a journal before giving it to someone or just passing it on. For me, I usually leave them completely naked until I start using them. And then I create ephemera as I require it for the pages I'm on. So to the very end, what I did was I thought, you know what, we've gone through pairs. So Paulla and I, whichever one you want to be, Paulla, I don't mind. I thought symbolises 2. I put in follow your art on the tag. That came out. 2 friends, and it was the 2 friends who actually made the collaboration. On the back, I took the extra piece that Paulla had sent me, from snippets from stuff she had. I just put a grey heart on there just because it was the only one I felt was the right colour for here, and I thought it was just sharing friendship, really. And in here, which I'm not going to pull out, is the message from Paulla. So I've made a pocket on the back of the tag the message from Paulla when she sent her signatures to me, and also I've added a little footnote to that note to actually explain the date and what this was all about. So there you go. I love this. This is beautiful. I'm very proud of this. So just need to tie it up, seal it with a bow, as they say. So I've given quite a bit of sari silk here, just in case this journal starts to expand over time with the stuff that goes in it. So there you go. So hopefully you've enjoyed that little bit of a series from the both of us. Paulla, I believe, will be sharing images of the stuff she's done. Paulla doesn't have a YouTube channel, I don't think. No, Paulla doesn't have a YouTube channel. I need to cut that off. That looks a little bit too long for me. If you want to see Paulla's work, and she's very talented, then you do need to be a member of Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists group on Facebook, because Paulla doesn't do social media except Facebook for that group. So did you enjoy that? I hope you did. As I said, all of the previous videos are in the description box below, along with other links that I think you need to see. And I think we're done. I really do think that I enjoyed that, Paulla. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support, guys. It was a pleasure to do this, and it's just such fun. I'm not sure I fully decorated a journal live on screen before now, or live on a video before now. So really enjoyed that, guys. So from me, I'm Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter. Until next time, bye bye now.